friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kathleen and today's video is going to be my very sad February wrap up in my March TBR. So for the month of February, I actually kind of had a book slump. I suffered a little from book slump. I only read 2 books, and the 2 books that I read, I finished it very quickly despite my book slump. For the rest of the month, I did not read at all. I didn't want to read. I kind of wanted to watch movies, and then I signed up for Netflix and I binge watched all of the American Horror Story episodes. So yeah, so let's go ahead and get started first with my sad wrap up from February. Alright, so for the month of February, the first book that I read was Shadow of a Girl by Shannon, Greenland. Do not let the cover of this book fool you. It is actually an amazing book. I received this book for free from the author in exchange for an honest review as part of a vlog tour, and I'll leave my review down below if you would like to check out my thoughts on it. But this book is about a girl who runs away from home due to some bad circumstances, and she assumes a whole new identity and she becomes a roadie for this indie music festival that's going on. So she travels with the bands from city to city to city, and there she becomes friends with a really cool wild girl named Anne, and she becomes friends also with this guy named West, and they kind of form an attraction to each other and they get really close. All the while she constantly has to look over her shoulder to make sure that the person that she ran away from is not following her. This book was fantastic. I really enjoyed it. The story is amazing. It's kind of like suspense with a little bit of mystery and also with the romance tied in. There is romance in this book, but it is not the primary focus of the story. I cannot recommend this book enough. I rated it 4.5 stars out of 5. The next book that I read was Milk and Honey by Rupi Kaur. I think that's how you pronounce the name. I'm sorry if it's not, but this is a book of poetry that has been getting a lot of praise on BookTube. Pretty much everybody's reading it and everybody's saying it's very good, and I loved it. As you can see by my many tabs, I absolutely love this book. It is very real and it's very raw and it's like beautifully written. I really love the imagery that she created in this book. One thing I will let you know, if you're planning on picking up this book, it does have a lot of sexual content. Also, there is a lot of indications of sexual abuse in this book, but otherwise it was just so beautiful. I really loved her style of writing. She's so open and so raw with her readers, and it was just so beautiful. I did rate this book 5 stars because I feel like it does not deserve anything less than 5 stars, and I will highly recommend it if you are a person who really loves poetry, but I will also recommend it for those of you who don't read poetry all that much. Alright, so there you go. Those are the only 2 books that I read in the month of February. At least I read something, right? So moving on to my March TBR, I picked some books that I have to read for the month of March that I cannot put it off. And then I picked some books that were in my February TBR that I obviously did not get to in February, so I'm going to put them in my March TBR and let's hope that I get to them. So the first book that I put in my March TBR is a book that I already read, and it is Caraval by Stephanie Garber. This was the BIBLIO Squad's book pick of the month for the month of February, and we just had our live show this past Saturday. If you would like to watch that, I'll leave a link down below for you guys. It was a lot of fun. This book was in one of my most highly anticipated books for the year 2017. And then the next book that I'm planning on reading during March is Empress of 1,000 Skies by Rhoda Belleza, and this book is the BIBLIO Squad's book pick of the month for the month of March, and our live show will be on April 1st, so I have all month to read it. And it is a sci-fi book, and it is set in outer space. It is, I think it's about, I'm not too sure, but I believe it's about this princess of this dynasty, and I guess she's trying to bring back her dynasty. It was destroyed or something, not sure. I've read some reviews and a lot of people have been really loving this book. This book just came out, so I'm really excited to read this book because the last time that I read a sci-fi book set in outer space, Illuminate, I really loved it. It's not even 300 pages, so I'm really excited for this book. I cannot wait to read it and discuss it during the BIBLIO Squad's live show on April 1st. Alright, and then the next book that I'm planning on reading during the month of March is Salt to the Sea by Ruta Sepetys, and I actually had the incredible privilege to go and meet this author over this weekend. She was over at Largo, Florida, and me and Chloe from the Bibliophile, we drove all the way there to meet her, and I brought my book Between Shades of Grey, and then I bought this at the library, and she signed both books for me. Depository, and she is so incredible, guys. She is one of the sweetest person I ever met. She almost looked like she was more excited to meet us than we were of her. Like, me and Chloe were totally fangirling at the author signing, and she was just so nice, and I really enjoyed hearing her lecture on how she wrote The Salt to the Sea, and hearing her talk about how she wrote this book made me want to pick up this book right away. So I'm planning on reading this book during this month. And then also the next book that I would like to read during the month of March is To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. As I told you guys at the beginning of this year on my 2017 resolutions, is that I wanted to incorporate more classics into my reading life. And so I bought this book from Barnes & Noble's. This is their Barnes & Noble's collectible editions, and I absolutely love this edition. I think it's gorgeous. So a lot of people recommended that I read To Kill a Mockingbird. So I would like to go ahead and start reading this book this month. And finally, these last two books that I'm putting in my March TBR are books that I'm going to attempt to read this month if I get through all the other 4 books first. And these are books that were in my February TBR. Can you guess what they are? Can you guess at least what one of them is? And yes, it is City of Bones by Cassandra Clare. God. Are you tired of hearing me say that I need to read this book? Because I'm tired of saying that I need to read this book. I'm going to attempt to read this month. I was going to read it in February, but that book slump just hit me really hard, and so I did not get to this book. I didn't even feel like picking up this book at all. This is book number 1 in the Mortal Instrument series. I really want to read the Mortal Instrument series. I have no excuses anymore, honestly. And then the next book that was in my February TBR that I did not get to is Cinder by Marissa Meyer. Everyone keeps telling me I need to read the series a lot, and it's a very well beloved series. It is fairy tale retellings in a sci-fi kind of way, so it sounds really interesting. I don't know why I haven't picked it up yet. Just other books keep getting in the way. My book slump keeps getting in the way. So if I get to all the other books, I will go ahead and pick this up. So there you go, guys. That is my very sad February wrap-up and my very ambitious March TBR. I really hope I get to all of this book. I'm going to try to beat this book slump because I'm still kind of having it. Anyway, let me know down in the comments below what books you ended up really loving that you read during the month of February, because I would really love to know. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a like if you did, and subscribe to my channel if you're not already. All of my social medias are linked down below, including Twitter, Instagram, and Goodreads if you'd like to follow me. I hope to see you guys on my next video. Have a good day, guys, and keep reading. Bye!